Hi, this is Professor Ken Homa, previewing Strat 551, officially titled Consulting Frameworks, Methods, and Contexts, though I'll usually refer to it in shorthand as FMC. FMC is designed to give students preparation and practice for course cases, which I encourage you to take very seriously, case competitions, which you should enter to sharpen your skills, second-year global integrative experiences, since they all include consulting projects, and case interviews if you're still searching for the perfect job. To that point, FMC's primary objective is to get you ready for your careers. Though the material in FMC will be directly applicable to many career tracks, the course is geared to consulting. In fact, FMC is loosely modeled after the new consultant training programs at the big-name firms. It is, so to speak, a sort of boot camp for consultants. The goal is to have you hit the door running when you start your next job. Here's a tip for all future consultants. All consulting firms want people who are extraordinary problem solvers. And here's a tip for everybody else. So do most other companies where MSB MBAs eventually go to work. That's why FMC has career track applicability beyond consulting. The course is also designed to be good preparation for careers as corporate strategists, general managers, marketing managers, and entrepreneurs. In fact, I promise there will even be something in it for bankers and other financial types. That's because the underlying premise of FMC is that problem solving is important and that it's a structured process that can be learned and applied in a variety of venues. Let me be more specific. Over the years, I've observed that problem solving can be thought about along three dimensions. The first dimension is frameworks. You've seen plenty of those in your prior courses. Frameworks are simplified analytical structures that often reoccur in real life, and they can sometimes provide a jump start when analyzing new problems. The second dimension is methods, ways of doing things. Methods are road-tested ways of solving problems. They're protocols for diagnosing problems and efficiently coming up with prescriptive solutions. The third dimension is context. That is, different situations and different variants of problems. You've been exposed to different contexts in your pre-MBA jobs and all the coursework that you've had so far. Seeing different contexts gives an opportunity to practice applying frameworks and methods and develops an important skill, pattern recognition. As you move along the three dimensions, outward and upward, what you're doing is developing your intuition. That is, storing away knowledge and experience in your brain so that you can retrieve it effortlessly when you need it. Putting the three key problem-solving dimensions together, frameworks, methods, and context, explains how the course got its name. Getting personal for a moment, FMC will draw on my more than 20 years of experience in the real world, as a consultant, as a manager, and as a ventures guy. That's important because I'll bring a very practical perspective into the classroom, a perspective heavily based on my McKinsey and GE experience. Much of the course content is inspired by those firms, and some of the content is drawn directly from them. Based on my experience, I've concluded that there are 5 fundamental skills that need to be mastered if you want to become a great consultant or business manager. The first skill is framing complex problems. That is, when stuff is flying, to be able to separate out the signal from the noise, to adopt a general manager's perspective, and to laser in on the essence of the problem. That is, to identify the core question that needs to be answered and figure out a way to answer the question quickly and accurately. The second key skill is generating plausible hypotheses that can be tested for validity. That is, to come up with a theory of the case, then conjecture, based often on a very limited amount of information, what answers are most likely for all of the determining factors, and then either prove them or refute them. The third key skill is gathering and analyzing facts. That includes gathering qualitative information from secondary sources and expert interviews, gathering quantitative data from both internal and external sources, and then mashing together data sets, cleaning them up, cutting through the masses of data to draw insights, and displaying the data and insights in a visually engaging way so that mere mortals are led to draw the same conclusions that you did. The fourth key skill is crafting creative, practical solution. That means thinking creatively, to think out of the box, while properly weighing each recommendation against a client's implementation skills and capacity. I learned the hard way as a consultant that the best idea is one that the client can implement, and that's not necessarily the best theoretical answer. The fifth key skill is mobilizing support across the client organization. That is, getting the client to act. This skill relies heavily on communication skills, being able to put together good pitches that effectively communicate conclusions and recommendations. And it relies on strong relationship skills, getting clients to buy into you and to your ideas and recommendations. These are the 5 key skills that we'll be working on in FMC. There's an old aviation adage that the most dangerous part of flight are the takeoff and the landing. The same pretty much holds true for most consulting studies. So in FMC, we'll be putting heavy emphasis on the fuzzy front end, framing the problem, and on the back end, what consultants call end product orientation, the final report and the presentation. How are we going to learn those skills? The course will have a mix of lectures, readings, and targeted analytical exercises. There will be a couple of deep dive cases, each with a major deliverable, and I hope to sprinkle in a couple of guest speakers, notably MSB alums now working in consulting. When we're done, you should be able to do at least these 8 things. Just hit pause if you want to study the list. The big takeaway is that when we're done, you should be able to solve problems just like a consultant. I hope I've convinced you that FMC is going to be a high value added course, and I hope to see you there.